guys, welcome back to Big Book. I got a couple of things here that I thought I might just share with you real quickly. Let me turn my phone off and have a quick look at. Today in the mail, received Pax Baltica and the Next War errata counters, which are nicely received. That'll be great. So I don't know, we'll see how we do with how long I prattle on about this before we look at Pax Baltica. Maybe we'll do that separately. But I had the good fortune of looking at a Paper Wars magazine some time back, one of the older editions that was kind of looked like the foreign policy, right-wing foreign policy magazine. It was all black and white and densely written and very well written, by the way, and enjoyable in the most part. And a friend of mine had given me a copy and I read it and was pretty impressed with what I had to say on most of the games reviewed, and the games were both popular and topical and also esoteric. So I thought, well, gee, I should try this out and have a look, and then of course found out that Compass Games was taking over the publication of Paper Wars. That kind of left me wondering what the heck I was going to do. I bought a couple of back issues of Paper Wars, and I actually didn't really like them very much, and was in two minds as to whether I should grab this or not. So on a punt, I did obtain a copy with the game that comes with it. This is Operation Shingle, and we'll have a quick look at that in a second. So I've just received this today and finished reading several of the articles in here, and one of the guys I know, so first of all, full color, which is very nice, and it's the layout is really nice as well. I don't know Joel. I bought some games from him and we correspond a little bit here and there, but I don't know him personally. He's not a close friend or anything. I guess he's a Facebook friend, if that counts for anything, right? So, but Joel's a nice guy, and he's always got positive, well-informed things to say. And Joel wrote a nice article here on Julius Caesar, the Columbia Games block game, which I would agree with most of what he has to say. I think the game is a fine game as well. I don't believe, however, that it captures the historic theme of the era as much as perhaps could have been done, and I thought that the mechanics of this particular game were very much like anything else that had been coming out of Columbia Games recently. So his review is probably a little more positive than mine would be or was. I wrote some stuff about it, and I certainly like the game and it's fun to play. I've played it several times. There's some more articles in here. This one is on Atlantic Navies and Steel Typhoon. I have not read that article. This was a great review, extended review and detailed overview of the Victory Point games, the Market Gardens series. Really good stuff, well written. This is by Robert Hatcher. Nice job, Robert. I really enjoyed your writing on this. And for once, someone starts out a review by just being factual and upfront about it without finding some minor thing they don't like and then setting it up that he's going to write a tough scathing review and doesn't like it. He just comes out and says what he likes and what he doesn't like about the game, and it all kind of pans out nicely. Really tired of the old canard of popping something you don't like at the beginning and then flipping it and going, oh, it's so fabulous, actually. Can't believe I got upset about that. Anyway, a couple other good articles in here about other stuff. Now, the Anzio game, Operation Shingle, it's 16 pages of rules and about 10 pages of different scenarios. And look at this. This is really nice. First of all, there's a nice organizational charts and assistance in the middle here. Very, very cool. I've seen the video online of an example of play of this game, and we'll open up the map in a second, but the rules are exceedingly well laid out, very tight, and I need that because I'm not a smart guy and I struggle trying to work out some of these games. So I think I'll be able to work this one out. And like I said, only 8 or 10 pages of rules, but then from page 41 all the way through to 52, I think it is different scenarios. So I'm looking forward to playing this and living off some of the examples, and I get the impression that this will be well supported as well by the designer. So Dave Murray's already done a good job online of supporting this and providing lots of content on Consim World as well. Anyway, so up the back of the magazine, so Joseph, and forgive me, Joseph, if I pronounce your last name wrong, Godbow, or yes, let's just call you Godbow. That doesn't sound right though, but I'm sure it's something very impressive if it's pronounced correctly. Nevertheless, does a very frank and candid review of the invasion of Canada, and at the end of it, I really felt like he was saying that it's basically Risk. So for what that's worth, I guess that's what it is, huh? Certainly didn't inspire me to want to get the game, although I thought that perhaps this might be fun to play in a group. But anyway, we will see. I'll let my buddies buy that game and play it, and then we'll find out what the story is. Now, David Davenport wrote this article about Ranger, and this is a really pretty good article here as well. Goes through and helps you understand what the game Ranger is all about. And I had not had a good feel from anything that I had read or any commentary I received from any friends who own this game. And so this gave me a good feel for the Ranger series, and it looks like it is one that I will probably have to run out and go get. Earl Toops did a good review of this strike on Saru from 1619. This is a game by Formosa Force Games. That's not a company I'm particularly familiar with, but an excellent review. It's a little, probably a little too detailed and meaty for me, but as a review per se, I probably didn't need as much detail as in here, but certainly gave a very nice background as to why this period is interesting and why I should care about it. And that has helped me want to have a look at this in a little bit more detail. So nice job, Earl. I really appreciated the writing there. Joan of Arc's victory. Joseph, there you are again, Joseph. Man, you're just a writer, aren't you? So this was actually a good review by Joseph. I enjoyed getting through this, and gave me a very clear view as to whether or not I would want to buy this game, and what I would take away from this for this Turning Point Simulations game is that I do not want to purchase it. But ATO games I struggle with in any case. I often will buy their games and start reading through the rules, and it's in that densely packed, somewhat lighter colored ink that is hard to read, and I get very frustrated, or become very frustrated with the rules and the rules layout and the way they're written, and I'll use Beyond Waterloo as an example of that. I've pulled that out several times and just become frustrated with the format of the writing. That, combined with what I read here, leads me to believe that this is not a game I need to be buying brand new at a shrink. It's something I'll pick up secondhand at some point. And Doug Murphy does a great review of this fun little game, Fighting Eagles. I've actually played this game. It's pretty cute, and I like it. It's a high-flying dice game. These guys make good games. I've never had a chance to really do an AAR on them or anything like that. But anyway, so blown away by this magazine. I got to tell you, first off the block, new edition. This is issue 77, kind of the reboot of the reboot, I guess. I'll show you this now. My only quibble, please, Compass Games, if you're going to make a really nice magazine with all this beautiful, I'm not a big fan of glossy paper because you get the sheen on it. It's a little hard to read in certain light. But if you're going to make a magazine like this with a nice game in it, put some structured cardboard in here. Even one piece will help prevent this. This is all bent here. Now the pieces are falling out not because it was damaged in transit, just that they've got that loose die cut. But These are all bent up on the corners, the counters. I'm obviously going to be punching this, so I'm not too worried about it, but I just like things to be taken care of a little better when they're shipped. And the same happens with the corners of the magazine here. There was no bag to keep the magazine in, so fortunately I have ordered some, so we'll manage. But I would like to see the magazine publishers take a little more pride in their shipping of their product, if that's indeed what they're going to do. If they're going to ship me a nice color game and color magazine, then let's make sure it gets to me in pristine condition. Fantastic map, huge hexes. We're playing on double. Come here. Double-sized counters. You probably can't see that very well, but I'm not going to zoom in on it for right now. The map has all the historical relevant information and a innovative combat grid that really allows you to define how much effort you're going to put into the level of intensity of your battle, and that will determine your losses and your impact upon the enemy. Very cool, very interesting. Got your DRM tables here, a turn track up here. This is going to be an interesting game, and unfortunately I am not going to be able to get to it right off the bat. I have a bunch of other stuff on the table to be playing that is kind of taken precedence, but this is certainly one that I'll get to this year. Maybe I'll try and slot it in around the actual date of this conflict, and we'll take it from there. All right, that's all I had to share with you about Paper Wars. I think we'll do a separate video on this at some other time. But great first effort. Let's hope that the second one is just as exciting. I believe that's going to be a game. Here it is here, called Breaking the Chains. It's a hypothetical situated on the South China Sea domination by the Chinese, and obviously the US getting involved in all that. So be pretty much lots of fun having a hypothetical World War III style scenario hitting the table at some point in the future. So good job.